Farisco of the Far From Vesuvius podcast. That's Ralph Pizarro of Calcio Napoli Club. Just rant about Napoli.
Let's go for it.
We're going to rant. We're going to match report. We're going to talk about the games. We're going to talk about topics. You leave comments and we'll read your comments out. Question.
All right. Quick stats.
Yes. Throw the stats up there. On to a nice little segment that we're going to call the Beast of the Match.
Who's beasting it for the Napoli team? Let's see.
But follow us on Facebook. Raffaele Rispo, Ralph Pizarro. Twitter at Napoli83, that's me.
CNC USA 26.
I want some feedback to the show. What do you guys want to see? What do you want to see more or less of? This is going to be a show for you guys too. I want a lot of comments.
We want to rant about something. Let us know if you want us to rant about something.
I promise you we're not going to agree on everything all the time.
We won't.
We're going to yell at each other every now and then.
Come and rant. This is what it's for. We want to give you a space to let loose so you can do it here.
Well, that's going to do it, Ralph. Were we boring enough for you?
I don't know. I think we were great.
Let's get to it.
Madonna do Carmen, aiutici tu.
And benvenuti, fellas and bellas all over the world. Welcome to another episode of the Raff and Raff Rant. I am Raff Pizarro, joined by my co-host, the Victor of SSC Rafa Rispo.
Hey, what's up, Raff Pizarro? What's going on, my man?
Chilling, bro. Good to be back. Well, good to see you there.
What's going on? How are you? Thanks a lot. I like your hat.
Thanks, bro. I had to. So Henrik Lundqvist, they put his they retired his number in Madison Square Garden.
That's right.
To the Raptors today. So I had to honor him because that's my dude. That's my team.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from Napoli, of course. But
yeah, man. Yeah.
But yeah, man. Hi to everybody in the chat. Welcome back, man. Thank you for waiting. We had a lot of eager people in there waiting, man. So hello to you guys. But let's get this rant on the road. We had a week off. Obviously, we didn't get to enjoy our beloved Napoli this Sunday, but few things in the news. I did a podcast with Joe Fischetti. I was on a Forza Napoli podcast. Shout out to Joe Fischetti.
Making your rounds, brother.
Yeah, bro. I'm getting the call-ups, bro. But it was super fun. I suggest everybody, I definitely recommend everybody to go see it if you haven't seen it yet. We'll talk about it in a moment. Let me address the crowd real quick, man.
Yeah, we got a lot of good people in there waiting. Yes.
Red Jedi, first comment. We got to put it up. Don't forget to press record. You're right. I'm sorry. Well, you know us. We had a few technical difficulties coming in today. Forza, what up, Peter Scala? How's that fax machine? Vincenzo, Yamma Bella, Yamma. Miguel Scotti de Luzza, a.k.a. Sonamandese, a.k.a. The Man. What up? Forza Raff and Raff. Thank you, sir. Salvatore, good to see you. Hate international breaks, man. Join Gaetano's club if you haven't.
Especially the ones that only feature Italia in a training camp and not in the matches. They're pretty rough. They are.
Oh, boy. Please. Oh, Rafa, we totally forgot to put this subject on the agenda today, but since we are famous for just going off the rails, guess what? We're going to go off the rails. I think we might have to start with that one. I don't know.
Fire.
Oh, man.
Fire.
Devils versus Rangers. Fuck the Devils. Anyway, Hank is the man. I got to put this one, man. Henrik, bro. Henrik, we salute you, Henrik.
Yes,
Thank you for your service. Really tough how he had to exit the league, man, with the heart condition. But, I wish him the best. Have you seen this guy, Rafa? I don't know if you ever seen when he's on what up, Stefano? FNS, damn right. Let's go Rangers. Have you ever seen Henrik Lundqvist on when he he does commentating now? Have you ever seen him?
I have not seen him do commentating. No. I can't say that I have. No.
Okay. This guy's the Dapper Don. Let me tell you something.
Oh, well, that goes without saying.
No, without saying at all. This man shows up with the three-piece suit, looking sharp as hell.
Not surprised.
Woo! And look, listen,
Broadway
let's keep it real.
Right there.
Right. Hockey pundits, they're good people, but they're not known to be the most stylistic out there. I feel like, basic basic suits you'd probably find in a bank or something. But this
No,
man gets on there.
Lundqvist is class personified. That's for sure.
Class, bro.
Yes.
Class. New York. I mean, I'm sure he was always like that, but New York definitely touched this man's heart, yo, because boy, oh boy. He looks sharp up there. He looks sharp. Just like us. You know. Hank is a class act gentleman and a gorgeous man.
He's a very attractive individual. But you know, let's get back to what we were starting with the New Jerseys. I'm all for it, man. Keep putting them out. I don't really care. Keep putting them out. Yeah. I'm of the opinion that, you know, there should be no real rule about how many kits you produce in a season. Obviously, you have, you know, European jerseys too, you know, goalkeeper jerseys, different kinds of jerseys.
Yeah, but wasn't that the goalkeeper jersey though? Wasn't it the one? It's the new flame one.
It's the flame one. Yeah, it's green and red, you know, but the I remember this navy blue or something like it being kind of like teased at the time, probably like at the beginning of the season, to be like a fourth kit of some sort. I guess they held off on releasing it, but I'm all for it, man. Listen, when you have the freedom that Napoli have in producing and, you know, distributing their own kits, then why not, man? Like it's just
listen. I'm not
by ADL, you know.
But I'm not mad at selling kits. I'm all for that. Hey, for the money, we're good. I'm just never putting that shit on. I mean, come on, 1996 called. They want their kit back. Like I'm just and I just feel like, you know, you said they teased it and all that, but Miguel, we're going to talk about that. But isn't it like the green goalie kit that's just been tinted blue? That I remember when Artie came on here, he called it the Mountain Dew jersey.
Yeah. And that's fine.
Shout out to Artie on that take on the Mountain Dew jersey.
What's up, Artie? Sean is in here too. So ciao fam. Ciao, Sean. How are you, buddy?
Ciao, mate.
But yeah, right above Sean's comment is Michaela coming in, asking me if there's any word on when the red Europa kit will go on sale, as well as the blue flame with the gold latte. So the blue flame with the gold latte was the I think that was the jersey that was presented at the beginning of the season to be the European kit that Napoli were going to wear. That remains to be seen if they're going to actually go ahead with that. But the red Europa kit is still not on sale. Yeah, like the blue flame. I think you've seen it, Raff. If not, I'll have to show you a picture of it before. But at the beginning, it was like I remember the first Napoli Europa League match. It was heavily rumored that was going to be our Europa League kit. The blue flame that was released with gold latte. You know, didn't happen. We saw the flame jersey in Serie A. You know, I'm all for it. Do it. Go ahead. Put out, like, let's wear that against Barcelona. Why not? What I'm a little upset with is the failure to release the Europa League kits aside from the home one. I would love to get my hands on that red gold latte kit. Remember when you bought the red kit?
Yes.
I was like, I'm waiting for that Europa League to drop.
Yeah,
and it never did. And I don't understand that.
Because they had to drop another 16 other kits, so they didn't want to
you couldn't squeeze that one through. I mean,
I had a similar experience.
The late September drop.
I had a similar experience. It's involving a car when Volkswagen made the R32 Golf. I went to the Jacob Javits Center to specifically see that car, and they didn't drop it. Instead, they dropped like a 25th anniversary edition. I was like, listen, I went straight to Volkswagen. I said, hey, where is the R32? And they're like, well, we didn't bring it out because it was so good that nobody would have bought this one. I'm like, bro, this is a car show, you know, not a dealership. So I think this is kind of like the same type of philosophy here. It's like, let's hold back on the red one. We already dropped the red one because we want to put out the flaming blue kit. I like this one from Pascal. I'm waiting for the kit that just has a giant print of a margarita.
Yeah, so I guess I'm waiting for that one too, huh?
Along with the Sfogliatella warm-up tracksuits.
I'd like to know anybody in here
Gianluca, what up, brother?
if the chat would please, disclose, has anybody bought this Blue Flame kit? Because
There's been
I
a
said
few
I was going
buyers.
to buy it, but a few things have popped up and I've been stalling on it. I
Ra-
will buy it. I
Rafa,
noticed that it's one of the only kits that was released in a 4X. So that
okay.
was pretty cool.
Rafa, though, can we make an agreement that it can't be part of the background if you like you can wear it
Oh, I
fine.
will never agree to that. It matches our background a lot. It really does.
Please.
I will not agree to that.
Just need a
No,
gold latte.
absolutely not.
I got he
The
got it.
question is, will it come in on time for us before the season's over? That's the question.
I don't know, man. Like so far, I've had a decent experiences with ordering jerseys. So I'm gonna say yes. I am going to be certainly optimistic about the arrival of these jerseys, but
right,
we'll see what DHL and the Postal Service is looking at. But yeah, moving on, because certainly either way, let's ADL make that cash, even if I think it's hideous and Rafa thinks it's great. But see, we're allowed to disagree. But
yeah, I mean, the revenue. It's the revenue, man. Those Maradona kits sold out. I know
true.
they made
This
3
is
of
true.
them at 1926 each. So you're looking at almost 6,000 of those kits, sold out. The Halloween kits sold out.
Chip Tuesday. Look at that. But here's the deal. All right, but you know what? Hold on. Let's not move on. Wait. Here's the deal. I do like the idea of like limited edition jerseys kind of dropping, maybe one or so every season, like a 4th jersey dropping every season. Kind of like last year, we had that beautiful, striped kit to kind of honor Maradona right after he passed.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe I'm spoiled because last season's lineup, all of it was fire. They were all fire. There you go. That guy right there, which we haven't seen since like 2000 and what, like 2002, 2003, something like that. With the
There was
Peroni,
one that was released in 05. There was one that was released in 05,
with the Peroni. With the Peroni.
No, the Peroni was a 0203.
0203, right? Right.
And in 0506 in Serie C, our second year of Serie C, Kappa released one also like that.
Okay.
Perfect. But then there was this one, This was the Europa League from last
gold.
season.
See, there you go.
Yep, the Europa League with the gold.
See, man, that lineup and with the Maradona in the back. What you know about that? But come on, man. Last year's lineup was absolute fire. All of it. Gorgeous. All of them.
I'm not disagreeing.
And then come on, and then the sublimated blue flame stuff. You know what it is, Rafa? I just dislike flames on anything a lot. On anything. I mean, with the exception of maybe like a hot rod, something like that, kind of cool, or like a motorcycle, like a Harley. But flames, clothing, not really my style. The Guy Fieri comment that we had earlier was definitely it. But yeah. Anyway, speaking of ADL, Joe Fischetti podcast, the Forza Napoli podcast. I was on it last week. If you haven't heard it already, go check it out.
Great episode.
Yeah, thank you. It's like, it was. But I'm like, wait, no.
It was a great episode. It was. I learned something from you and Joe,
nice.
And the topics were outstanding for being off. You know what I mean? For Napoli being on a break. Just a great. I encourage everybody who hasn't listened yet to please go out of their way to listen to it because it was and the one that was released the day before, Bizarro 2, was a fantastic episode.
Yes.
Joe Fischetti put out one banger after banger 2 days in a row. So definitely check it out.
Yes. The one with Claudio Rosso, awesome. Mean, like Claudio spits some inside information. You just gotta hear it. You gotta
Claudio
hear
Russo, and then the forgive me, I don't remember his name right off the top of my head, but right after the Claudio Russo was the Canadian, the kid that is with Napoli
Oh, the
Club
one that played
Toronto,
ball, right?
the one that played and got
Mhm.
to know Jonathan de Guzman and most of the Napoli team
Right.
in the first year of Benitez. Just a great episode, and then yours, dude, just just 3 bangers right away. Boom, boom, boom. Joe Fischetti coming through. But
Yes.
give our boy Raff some love because you nailed it out of the park. Nailed it.
Yeah, lots of things. Definitely go check it out, especially if you want some more information about the whole Bezos thing, Amazon. We really, Joe and I dove in, got some details, so we were able to, communicate that with all the tifosi and try to, clear the waves a little bit and try to understand everything that's going on between the economics of Napoli, between not just the team, but the city rather, between theories about ADL selling. We put everything into it. So yes, the Gianluca Sagese interview. Thank you, Vincenzo. That was the one right after the Claudio Rosso. All just back to back bangers, man. Miguel, start Raff, stop acting like you're rocking the Jenko jeans with the silk flame button up. I did have Jenko jeans. I did not have a flame shirt. I've always hated flames. But anyway, moving on. Where do we start, Rafa? Winter Mercato.
Yeah,
No.
let's talk about it.
So I feel like it's a big one. No, do you want to talk about Insigne first? I feel like let's get Insigne out the way. No,
Okay.
with the
Yeah,
whole
let's
because
talk
that
about
was a little
Insigne.
bit before the end of the Mercato, right? So Salernitana, Napoli Salernitana. Insigne scores a goal, right? It was a penalty kick.
Yes.
Goes up to the camera and says, "It's not my fault." Translated, rather, it's not my fault. I'll love you always.
Mm-hmm.
I really got and I'm assuming, the I love you always, he pointed to the crest. So, and it's not my fault was, I don't know, he left the refrigerator door open and he was telling his girlfriend, not his fault. Maybe one of the kids
Yeah.
did it. I don't know. No, but it's, I got this weird flashback, Rafa, when Higuain kind of like did something similar, pointing to the stands
ADL.
where ADL is, right?
Yeah,
Oh no,
yeah.
wait, I think did that happen when he was on Juve?
Yes.
That happened when he was on Juve, right?
But still very telling. It
Very
was the
telling.
season after. It was the
Right.
very season after. So
Right.
he scored in his first trip to Sao Paulo. And I believe it was the Copa game.
Mhm.
And yeah, he let everybody know that if it wasn't for ADL, he'd still be there. But doesn't excuse Higuain's move to Juventus. To me, that doesn't
Mhm.
make it better. But
Hey.
I think with Insigne doing his thing and saying what he said, I think it cemented what everybody else already knew. And if they didn't know that they should have known that Insigne would have stayed on the team if the circumstances were right for him, despite the fact that Toronto came in with a ginormous amount of money.
Right.
He might have stayed if Napoli showed him a little bit more. I would say respect. Not saying that I don't understand where ADL is coming from, but you definitely know where Insigne's heart lies, and him touching the crest and kissing the
Right.
crest. I will accept his move to Toronto and accept his love for Napoli at the same time. It's not impossible for someone to be in love with the club and leave at the same time if the circumstances are better for them. You
Right.
understand? Yeah.
No, I totally get it. It's just that is it necessary though for all these players? Like, it wasn't my fault. It's your fault. Not my fault. It's your fault. Like, who cares whose fault it is? I mean, like, are we giving him that hard of a time? Is he responding to the people who are saying like, oh well, he's doing it for the money, for the money, for the money? Like, I really like people who say these things piss me off. Oh, he's doing it for the money. Like, you act like you wouldn't do something for that much money.
Please.
I would go anywhere in the world for that much money. I would leave in a heartbeat. I'd kiss my mother goodbye. I put on my Napoli jacket and I'm out for 12 million. I'm out.
Yeah,
I don't know what is this. It's for the money shit. What do you mean it's for the money?
No, it's incredibly unrealistic to
even if it is.
It's unrealistic for people to assume that that his loyalty doesn't lie with Napoli because of because he didn't resign. You know what I mean? If you guys all remember, Del Piero went and played in Australia. De Rossi went to Boca Juniors. The only guy I know of is Totti and Maldini, who were bandiere, like full bandiere, and people still called Del Piero a bandiera, of his
Okay.
club, which technically he is. Technically De Rossi is a bandiera of Roma. Actually, Totti and Maldini are bandieri of Milan and Roma and Milan respectively. And to me, Insigne is a bandiera of Napoli. It doesn't matter that he's 30, 31. Doesn't matter that he, went to go make the big bucks or still is in his prime, whatever. In my view, in my eyes, he's still a bandiera of Napoli. And we just have to respect the fact that he made a decision to better his family, and that's it. He decided to cut his, with all due respect, prime football career short because going to Toronto, and I understand that people will stick up for the MLS, like our guest, last show a couple weeks ago, and
Right.
other people that are fans of Toronto MLS or whatever. I'm a big fan of that, of New York City, the champions,
Okay.
and I, even me, I recognize that the MLS is just not the top tier. It's not. Insigne or not. It's not
Fair
the
enough.
top tier.
That's okay, but
So
this is how it's going to become it.
Yeah. So he's cut his career at the club level short to go make some money, man, and that's it. He's still a bandiera to me, and for people to slam him for making that kind of move, is just outrageous to me. Outrageous because everybody in here has a lot to say until someone waves 11.5 right in front of your face. Get out of here. Give me a break.
Yeah. Come on. Enough with the mercenary shit. Get out of town, man.
Nope.
Get out of town. There's
Not
not one
having it.
person on the face of the earth who would refuse such a raise. And all right, maybe we don't have to talk about millions, but even if you think percentage wise, all right, you're trying to, you're coming at the end of your rope or whatever. You're trying to make a splash before you're finished with your career, man. Like and live the rest of your life comfortably. He's still Napoli Don. He was still here for 10 years. He still did what he did. I don't get it. I like this one when Quentin said here. We all know things are not right. When Callejon played for free, cried, and still got let go. Or when Mertens is offering to play for Marinata and can't get a renewal. So although that seems to be changing. We're going to get into the renewal part of all this. But
Callejon playing for free was the result of COVID. It's not anything else other than the fact that he played through the season in which he was contracted, because obviously we know Callejon's contract was up at in the summertime 2020, and unfortunately for COVID, the season had to continue past that date. So he decided to honor the fact that the season wasn't complete and play after that date. You know what I mean? I mean, COVID messed a lot of things up. Everybody knows that.
Right.
So the fact that Callejon played for free, I think it's a technicality. You know what I mean? He left right after that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he, stuck around to play for free for a whole season.
Mm-hmm.
He just finished off the season that was messed up by COVID. Mertens offering to play for, Sauce. That's also something that I think is just a figure of speech. Obviously, Mertens is going to make a salary. It's not like he's going to play for $0. He's going to make a salary, but he's offering to fall within the guidelines that allow him to stay, saying that I'm not going to fight you on a salary. Give me whatever you can. That's fair, I'm sure. But Mertens, if he stays and takes that decrease, I mean, for me, is like huge. I think if he does that, that's bonkers crazy.
Do you think, Rafa, that's going to fuel more, more anger towards Insigne if Mertens does take a pay cut
No.
in order to stay?
Not
No.
in my opinion. No.
You don't think that the haters out there are going to use this as a
Well,
basis
let's
for their
see.
argument?
Where is
'Cause I
Napoli? Is
think so.
Napoli home this week or is Napoli away this week? I know they were
With
home.
Salernitana?
No, we played Salernitana at
I'm
the
sorry.
Maradona. This week, I think they're at Venezia. Yes,
Venezia,
they're
I'm
at
sorry.
Venezia.
They're at Venezia.
Yes. So, coincidentally enough, this coming week, the attendance is allowed to go back to 50%. So, next match against Inter at, at the Maradona is against Inter, right? That's where we're going to see how the public truly feels. And when I say the public, I don't mean the general fan in Naples, because we saw that at Salernitana, 5,000, however many thousands that were there. You know,
Right.
I know it wasn't 5. You know, it was not a great turnout, albeit with the restrictions. But against Inter, you're going to see the ultras be able to come back, and then you're going to hear it. But at the same time, has anybody really heard or seen anything from the ultras negative against the Insigne? I don't think it's happening. Honestly, I think at this point in the news, you would have seen a banner calling for Insigne's head if the somewhere on, in Naples. Am I right or am I wrong? You know, ultras will let you know how they feel on
Maybe, yes.
on a Tuesday night. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna let you know how they feel.
True.
You're gonna see a banner or a report saying, "Oh, the ultras are against Insigne and his move." I haven't seen one thing. Now, I'm a busy guy. I don't check Twitter and Tutto Napoli anymore the way I used to. Like I'm tremendously busy these days. But honestly, I think I keep up on our chat, Renaissance. I have other chats I keep up on. I haven't seen one thing negative from the ultras towards Insigne or towards ADL for that matter. So it's like I think everybody understands the deal here,
Right.
Right
John
now-
Loki says it here. I'm sorry, Rafa.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's a
Keep it
double-edged sword with ultras because they were against him in the past, so they can't be mad he's going now. Definitely for some. This probably was a 50-50
against
split,
him, I think that was situational. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they were against him.
like they were giving him a hard time. But
Yeah,
maybe
they would give it. Listen,
against him.
fellow Napolitani are going to bust each other's balls. That's just the way it is.
Right.
And I think there's that understanding between Insigne and the ultras because of that. Because everybody's a Napolitan in this situation.
Right.
I mean, it sucks, dude. It does. It sucks that he's leaving. I hate it. I hate that he's leaving.
Right.
And I'm upset. I'm upset with ADL not at least saying, "Listen, man, I'll give you another mil." Like 1 more million. But just so you know, I'm cutting some salaries here and there, if that's even true. Now we don't even know if that's true, but you have to think about this too, and this might be segueing into the next topic or another topic, Ralph. But and I might be getting ahead of myself, but allow me to indulge here.
Go ahead.
The heavy reports are that Koulibaly is going to resign and become the captain of this club. Koulibaly is currently either tied or the highest paid player on the team. So what's going to happen?
He is the highest paid player on the team.
Is Koulibaly going to re-sign for more, the same, less? Either way, he's re-signing. But if ADL is making this whole new 3.5 mil salary cap on the club, is he going to go down from essentially 6 mil that he makes, I think, to 3.5 for the good of the club? He said he'd do it before.
Right.
It's not like he didn't say he wouldn't do it.
He said, right. He said,
for
well,
the best
he
of
did
the club. Yeah.
He said he would. Well, I think that was in regards to selling him. He said he doesn't want to leave, but if selling him would be best for the club, then he would have no objections to it. I think it was some along those lines. But still, I mean, let's just move on because this does segue into the next few topics about as far as renewals. We luckily somehow have avoided a fire sale disaster of a campaign, I think, over the past season or so. Now, call it ADL's kind of maybe being really conservative with his finances and all that. I know some people want more risk. Some people are kind of content with how the things go. But we can definitely say that Gianluca, I'm glad you mentioned that. We're going to put it up in 1 second. We can definitely say that our financial health and the fact that we didn't just get I know I was doing it in Spanish on purpose, Rafa.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It just El Capitano just sounds better than Il Capitano. I don't know. El Capitano. Il Capitano.
El Capitán. No, in Spanish, en español se dice El Capitán.
El Capitán, not Capitano.
Capitán.
So that was like a hybrid of Italian and Spanish. I guess. Sorry for me.
I thought I did interject.
I didn't mean no offense.
I didn't mean to throw you off.
No,
but,
it's all right. I was like,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Anyway, but yeah, like it certainly averted a fire sale of players, man. We have to take that into consideration now. I'm not talking about previous seasons, but I am talking about the last 2 seasons. The fact that we have remained conservative is the reason why we are able to retain most of our players. Now, as far as Insigne not getting a 1 million, that sounds personal. I'll be honest, and I think maybe that's why Insigne took his little jab at ADL, because ADL could have given that extra mil. Let's keep it real. I mean, like we're sitting in a good standing right now. You know, God willing, we do well against Barcelona and we can move a little bit deeper in the EL. Like, we'll get the money back. You know, we're going to get a bunch of people off the books next year. We already got Manolas off. I think Insigne could have been afforded, man. There's definitely something in there. And in fact, you know, with Claudio, even when Joe's saying, like, I don't know if those two really like each other, because had the relationship been good, I think, you know, Lorenzo Insigne is like an insta re-sign. You know, like there's no reason. Like, there's no reason not to re-sign Insigne other than some personal shit.
I'm wondering if
I don't think the mill would have broke the bank.
I'm wondering if it's more than a mill. I'm wondering if that difference in you know, what Insigne wanted and what ADL offered was more than a mill or not. Because I mean, listen, even if he did offer him an extra million, which would put him at what? What was he at? 4.5? You wanted to be 6, right?
He wanted to go 5.5 or something, according to the report.
Even if it was, you're still competing with 11 mil. You know, and we're also talking euro to dollars, so the difference might be a lot less. You know what I mean? We're talking euro to American dollars.
Right.
So whatever that valuation is there too, we have to remember that, you know. But I just think that it was time. You know, I think it's time. I think his time was up. You know, I don't know. I like to think that we're reading a little too much into it, and that it just was a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna say this, and it might be not a popular thing to say.
Do it.
And people might, you know, not agree. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. And don't get me wrong, don't think I'm saying this to, you know, talk negatively against our club and the players that play for our club. But it's been 10 years since this core have been together, and we don't have a Scudetto yet, man. So maybe this is ADL saying, listen, this is how we have to approach this. You know, and like you said in the Joe Fischetti in Forza Napoli Calcio Pod, maybe he's priming this team for sale.
Yes.
You know, maybe he's
getting
ready this club for a sale.
Right. Right.
You know,
I did say like, I
I know
think
it's a theory, but it's a theory that you like you said. What you said was this is a theory,
yeah,
but at the end of the day, it's a very well thought out theory. It's not like it's
it's analytical deduction,
impossible.
Rafa.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
deducting by reasoning here. It's like,
yeah.
why is he doing these things? Like, what does it get? I do want to address Gianluca here because it's all right. I just want to try nicely, of course, respectfully, because we're all entitled to our opinion. ADL has to loosen up image rights if wagers aren't going to be going over 3.5 net. Now, here's the deal. There was this 3.5 net number that got out there. We addressed this on the show. I don't think, listen, it's impossible to get every player maximum 3.5 million. There's no way you're going to attract any big star names at 3.5 million. Now, the thing was, and I don't want to give away too much because it was on the podcast. I would like for people to listen to it, but it could be a salary cap. According to Joe Fischetti, it could be a salary cap. Now, when you divide I think it's the number that he is trying to reach, which is about 95 mil or something. When you divide it by like 25 mil, excuse me, a Miller here if my math is wrong, but essentially it comes out to $3.5 million net. So this is like an average price per player based on 25 people on a squad. Not to mention, the trainers, the coach, the this, the that. Those are all salaries, by the way. All they have to spend, like the whole staff, that's part of salaries for the team because they're a part of the team. So that 3.5, people took this number and went nuts. All the LDA haters, again, oh, look at him. You don't want to pay more than 3.5, cheap this and cheap that. And cheap, like, relax. It's not, I don't think it's that. I think this is an average.
I'm going to 100% agree with you. 100%.
All right.
Because 3.5 net, we're forgetting that's
$7
payroll tax in Italy is almost double. You're talking about maybe 5.56 net gross.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, that ADL has to fork out, in payroll tax. That's A. And B, big clubs sign players for 7 mil net or more.
Mm-hmm.
Big clubs. But look at the medium-sized Napoli to small clubs. They're nowhere near even maybe 4 mil net. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like I refuse to believe that Fiorentina's got players on there making 5 mil each. Get out of here. Absolutely not. So this valuation isn't that far off from average, like you said.
Yeah.
Payroll salaries.
Yeah.
It's not.
People took this, and I'm not accused. By the way, Gianluca, I'm not accusing you of feeling that way. But it's just so many people have brought that up. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, man. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. And
you can't cherry pick information. Again, others can't cherry pick information just to like fulfill your agenda. It doesn't work like that. I want to touch on the image rights too, but Rafa, I'm gonna let you finish your point.
No, that was my point, but I want to touch on the image rights too. So let's do that really quick, and then I'll show his next comment.
Image right. You want to start or
no? Yeah, because Insigne had Adidas. There was a deal struck between Insigne and Adidas during ADL's run, so he has loosened up the image rights. He's allowed other players to go and make a couple bucks elsewhere. Maybe select players, but players that might, deserve it. Not that anyone deserves it more than another, but you know what I mean? The bigger players, ADL has loosened the image rights up. He has. And, I haven't heard image rights being an issue for a player joining Napoli since like the time that we were supposed to get, maybe around when Higuain was there and leaving,
So let me cut you off right there, Laura. Let me interject rather, Rafa, right there. So it was funny, like after I was reading a few articles, I was like, you know what? Let me try to dive into some image right history here. For example, Real Madrid with Galacticos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. It was a team full of star power. Now, the only people who are really going to have problems with image rights, right, are the biggest players. Like Gianluca said, I mean, he mentions it afterwards. So we're going to touch on that other, you mentioned here. He doesn't want big names. I think he wants to get younger talent that's on the cusp, like he did with Benitez team. That's still a piece of the Napoli team right now. I agree with that, actually. Image rights really becomes a problem with bigger names, right? Mm-hmm. When they got deals with Nike, Adidas, but
Mhm.
big ones that if Napoli get 100% of those image rights, it's going to cause a big conflict. And not only that, I mean, we're taking all their money. Galacticos, so even with Ronaldo, took like 40% of his image rights at the time. So this is why I kind of agree with Gianluca in the sense that as far as image rights goes, if we're going to attract big players, the whole 100% image right thing is not going to work. But if he doesn't want big names like Gianluca stated, then that's not going to make a difference. I mean, Cavani, Higuain, who else? Insigne, Mertens,
Yeah.
Koulibaly, everybody on the damn team. Nobody here has like some huge mega deal on this team right now with some type of with another company. There's also things like if you're in like you can't be in a picture by yourself, you have to be with the team, and I'm not going to get into it, it's a whole episode, but here's the deal. As far as image rights goes, he has to loosen it up if he's going to try to go out and buy like star players.
Yeah, but
But
I also don't think that's happening. Like that's
under
under
not
the
right.
ADL under the ADL regime. It's just not how we operate.
It's just not how we do
thrive. We thrive on producing that out of nowhere name. Fabian Ruiz, Jorginho, Zielinski, Alan, Mertens.
Potential value, Quentin. Potential value is a big deal.
Yeah. Even Cavani, when he
Potential
came
value.
in, wasn't a superstar yet. He was scoring a shit ton of goals for Palermo, but he wasn't a household name yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then he comes in and boom, there you go. Higuain is the biggest player we've bought as an established player. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe David Ospina too was a little bit of an established player when he came in also, but I mean, like when we bought Higuain, it was like, oh wow, we're getting Higuain from Real Madrid. This guy scores a ton of goals, at 40 mil. You know what I mean? And his salary or whatever, despite the image rights thing, but Napoli historically don't do that, and I don't think they're going to start doing that now, especially since we might be on the negative a little bit because of COVID, attendance, this and that, owing money for rent and all that stuff. What's the point? What's the point in going to get a big name player when we have to rebound a little bit from COVID and all the other crap that's going on, not making the Champions League, this and that? That Victor Osimhen was a big spend because he had the opportunity to do it. And he figured that we needed some sort of a boost, and every now and then he does it once or twice, So you got to respect him for that, I just think that, I feel like everybody is overanalyzing what his strategy is.
He's trying to reduce the wages, Rafa. He's
and
trying to keep the ship afloat.
It's very, very understandable. It's understandable.
We don't have XR and the Agnellis ready to pump $400 million. By the way, what was it? The Swiss Joe.
Yeah.
Again, another thing that Joe shared. The Swiss
was a Swiss Ramble, right?
The Swiss Ramble.
Yeah.
Ridiculous amounts of money. Yeah, guess what, Napoli? We don't have that kind of money, bro. We can't make those kind of moves.
We can't do that.
Actually, Raff, I do want to touch one thing regarding the market because we only have about 15 minutes left. I don't want to run too hard, but low-end clubs offer 3 point with their TV that pay.
This is what I wanted to mention, but look at what you're talking about, Gianluca. It's England, man. That's a whole different ball game. The freaking championship, the second division promotional playoff game. So not even the winner of the league or second place who gets automatic promotion, but the playoff final is more lucrative than the World Cup final. The team that wins that gets into the Europe, into the Premier League, gets I don't know what's like
it's like a hefty sum, very hefty,
or 70 million just hefty coming in. Hefty. You know what I mean? It's amazing. It's amazing. England is a whole different ballgame. So, yeah, you're going to have teams like Brentford going out to get Christian Eriksen, which is a thing, happened.
Right.
Oopsie.
I like Vincenzo. We make the superstars, not buy them. You're damn right. Cavani.
Yeah, the whole thing is
Doubled
let's make some
Higuain's
superstars and win
value.
a title, and
Yeah, that's what we
at the
like,
same
right?
time, yeah.
Right. We'd like to win a title with the superstars that we make. I get it.
Yeah, Gianluca says he agrees. That's what he was saying. So
No, no.
yeah, we're on the
Yeah.
same page now. Yeah, yeah.
Gianluca, we agree. We all agree with each other here. I just used your comment to kind of like go at the mentality of others that kind of give ADL a hard time for some of these things, but at the same time, it's like you got to bend a little bit. You got to take a. I was talking with Giuseppe the other day from CNC, and it's like I get what he came down to my level. I went up to his a little bit, and basically at the end of the day, it's like I was more of a conservative approach with things. He's a little bit more riskier, but I think there needs to be a balance of that. But in these COVID times, conservative is I think a good idea.
Hey,
at least
man.
wait till see what happens when we open up the stadiums, when the rally comes.
Yep.
There's money coming into Italy. Go to the freaking podcast and listen. I'm not going to say it here because like, you know,
go
it's a
listen
conflict of interest, but it's because I want you to go there. Like we laid out the information again, hypotheticals, but there's something big on the horizon. There's something else, man. And I think we got stopped because of this issue we had during the mutiny, and then right after was COVID, man. That really hampered things. That really stopped us like dead in our tracks. I think it threw a wrench in ADL's gears. As far as Insigne goes, I don't know. But I do understand the fact that like now he's not renewing, now he's not bringing up. I mean, I guess what, because he didn't want to offer more than 3.5 to Insigne. That's where everybody's starting to get these numbers from. But at the same time, like I just think that he's trying to bring the overall cost of salaries under a certain amount, under 100 million. And that makes sense because when you look at the winnings, even for like EL or even for like a group stage in Champions League, it equals a little north of 100 million. So if you're operating at 130, 140 million dollar per year salary and you're only making 150 million, we keep losing money. It's the reserves that keep us up. That's what keeps us afloat. And if we now over the past year or two, we had to dip into these reserves and we haven't been able to replenish all that. That's why there's only two things that ADL can do. A, make some investments with assets and stuff like that, but that's not going to happen right now. Or B, cut down salaries. And any business, if there's anybody in here, I know there's a bunch of people actually here who know business. What is the biggest cost in business, Rafa?
Salary, man.
It's the salary. It's the
I'll
overhead.
tell you that right now. I know all about it. All
right. So like
crazy.
Like do onto ADL as you would do onto yourself and your own business. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's what I want people to start doing. But at the same time, ADL, just shut up every now and then. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, for sure.
Take it away. Take it away, Rafa. No, he needs to shut up. He did that thing. So he came out the other day. I don't know if you saw that. He put on the SSC website about calling out it was Lombardo, I think, calling out a journalist saying that basically this reporter put out a report saying, "Oh, when are you going to renew Spalletti?" And ADL came out and said, he's under contract to 2024. I think it's like till 2023, and then he has the option to renew. Yeah. But he's like, there's nothing here to renew. Why are you trying to destabilize I'm paraphrasing, by the way. He's like, you're sitting out there trying to destabilize the team and yada, yada, yada.
Well, typical media, there's nothing else to talk about
media,
right
now. But Della, shut up. Just stop talking to them. That's the point, man. You just give them more ammo, man. You're not going to beat them. Just be quiet. The best thing to do is be quiet. Why do you think the Silencio Stampa helped us so much? I mean,
and I was going to say that, Ralph, despite everything that we had happened, mutiny, COVID, changing managers, this, that, and the third, we're 4 points out of first place in Serie A right now, in second place right now. Second, tied with Milan on points, but with the tiebreak. Granted, Inter have a match in hand, yes, but Inter lose to Milan this week and we win. Scudetto race is on. I mean, it's on now, but shit, That would be Inter in first and Milan and Napoli 1 point behind them before their game in hand. I mean, that's insane. And we talk about Napoli as if they're this crumbling franchise. We're in second place. Look at Genoa; they're terrible.
After another injury disaster.
After new blood
PTS
came
thinking
in.
about it.
Crazy.
Everyone wants to cut lip. I get here. We went 3 in a row. Inter drop points. We were a top dog. It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Well, but listen,
I think we're going to be the spring chickens.
If we win 3 in a row, if we win 3 in a row from here on out, that means it's guaranteed Inter drop points because we beat them in next week. You know, after Venezia, it's Inter. So, yeah, I mean,
all right. I'm bringing this question out to the chat. I asked Joe this yesterday. We were on the phone. I want to know, and I think I know the answer. What position? You don't have to say what player. We don't have to go into the player. What position does Napoli need to go after in the just January market to secure our top 4 or quite possibly a Scudetto or the EL? I want to know.
So the problem is the January market ended today. So it's over. We're not getting anybody.
But tell me, what piece did Napoli need?
Oh, like so hypothetical.
Hypothetically, if we were to buy, if we were to have to go buy somebody, because I think a lot of this attitude. Peter, I'm not trying to chew on you. I love you to death, but
okay,
I'm gonna fax you in a minute. But I want to know because here's the deal. This is Napoli Dons. I love you, but I'm gonna talk a little shit right now. I'm gonna be Rafa. I have a little gripe.
Yeah.
The minute Juve got Vlahovic or whatever, everybody lost their shit. Look at Juve. They're trying to do this, and look at them, and they're da. Juve are in trouble.
Right over Napoli's
and trying
heads.
Yeah. Juve are average, and they're in big trouble if they don't qualify for Champions League. They almost didn't qualify for Champions League last season, and now it's happening again. See, Juve can't afford. See, we took a hit, two non-qualifications in a row. Juve can't do that, man. They're in a heap of trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. They had to inject that cash, and they had to buy somebody, and they're making all these moves now. Juve are trying to recover. Napoli have a team. It's just they're injured again. Again. And I don't even want to make that I don't want to lean on that excuse too much, but it's the fucking truth. The first few games out the gate, we had a Scudetto team, but everybody believed. Now all of a sudden, we got to buy more. Who? I want to know who. I say backup striker, but I would like to know because Petagna, he's just not doing it.
I'm going to disagree, backup
I'm just
striker.
not doing it for me with the Petagna, bro.
I don't care, man. Ever since our
left back
report card show, Petagna has a game winner and a game tire.
But I want to know. All right, everybody's saying left back. This was the answer. That in January, we needed to buy a left back in order to win anything. I don't understand. We still, we're having trouble scoring with our spine out. We still have one of the best defenses in the league.
Yep.
I don't know why left back is something we have to go after in January. Listen, we can talk in June.
You want me to be honest with you, man? I think we did fine in January. I really do.
We got Juan.
We got Axel Tuanzebe.
Axel,
right?
I'm sorry, not Juan.
To cover the center back.
Right.
We have Juan Jesus to cover left back right now. You know, because am I right in saying that Gulam went to Lazio? Was that confirmed? Did Gulam go to Lazio? Was that confirmed?
Did Gulam go to Lazio?
Yeah, I believe Gulam was slated to go to Lazio.
No.
This January.
No.
Okay, so then we still have Gulam.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so then there's no need for a left back right now.
No.
Next season,
it was reported
this guy Oliveira from Getafe, yes. For June, I'm all for it. I honestly don't think Napoli need anything. Napoli need Koulibaly and Anguissa to come back.
This is what we need right here.
There you go. That's it.
This is all we need.
Koulibaly and Anguissa
we already made the
back.
moves. This is what I'm trying to get at.
That's it. That's all they need right now. That's it. They don't need a striker. They don't need any help in the midfield at all. They don't need help defensively. Best defense in the league.
Gozens, who they buy? Who else they buy?
Inter got Gozens, and they picked up Caicedo from Lazio. But
Okay.
Gianluca, Inter and Juventus' financial turmoil, these players that they're buying is only putting them into more financial peril.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Like the problem here, not the problem. The strategy for these two big clubs. Now I'm going to say it again. Big clubs, right? And when we say big, we don't mean, winning Scudettos left and right, or always at the top. We mean big as in rich, okay? With more assets than just Inter. Suning have more assets than just Inter. Juventus have more assets. Agnelli has more assets than just Juventus. So they are taking from those assets and injecting into the club, thus creating more debt because they have to pay that debt back. This club is in debt. Now, everyone's going to say, well, I'll take a Scudetto if you're in debt. Okay, fine. But ADL does not have the means to withstand the debt like Inter and Juventus have accrued. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm a small barbershop. I don't have the means to inject money into the barbershop from an outside source, thus causing debt for my barbershop. Now, if I had 3 or 4, maybe I could take from one from one to pay for the other. You know what I'm saying? But Agnelli is and Suning and even Milan's ownership. It's a conglomerate, man. Like, you have to understand that until Napoli sell to either Amazon or a Saudi prince or an oil tycoon or whatever you want to, an American billionaire.
Right. We're doing what we can.
Napoli don't have these means, man. De Laurentiis has Filmauto. He makes B-rated Italian movies. Like, come on, man. Like, be realistic. ADL's Filmauto.
He's worth like 50 million.
Conglomerate is Napoli. It's the club.
Right.
The club, if anything, ADL might take money from the club and put it into Filmauto. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
He needs money from Napoli to pay his rent. Like, this guy's only like worth like 50 mil. No, only. I mean, I wish I was worth $500,000, but like, compared to some of these people who are splashing,
there's other factors that we don't own the stadium. We can't own the stadium. We're trying to find space to build at one point, we couldn't build this and that. We couldn't buy the stadium, whatever have you. Listen, there's a lot of factors into why Juve and Inter are able to make these moves that they are. It's not that they're going over Napoli's head. Napoli just doesn't have that kind of means. You know what I mean? But what they do know how to do very, very well is scout those young, hungry, gritty players that play with a coach passionately. You understand? Just because Juve bought Vlahovic doesn't mean that he's going to come in, plug and play, and he's going to start scoring. Like, theoretically he should. It's the same league. He knows the league. So Vlahovic should be scoring goals. But that doesn't mean that they're going to win a Scudetto this season, come back, finish second. That doesn't mean that's going to happen, man.
Yeah, man. Vlahovic came, everybody went nuts, and it was just another reason to call ADL cheap. Stop it. These teams are crawling. They're trying to. They have to like protect all the bullshit decision making they did, or else they're gonna drown and end up in bankruptcy, man. That's what's going on right now with these big clubs. And if it wasn't for all their clout that they've gained throughout the past 20, 30 years stealing shit,
dude,
they won't make it.
Quentin says it right perfectly. Look at the amount of money taken off of Rube's books simply by dropping one player. And they didn't drop one player. They dropped like 4. Kulusevski, Bentancur, Ramsey, and
Ronaldo.
And who?
Ronaldo.
Oh, Ronaldo. Yeah.
$60 million a year, bro. Like, that's a lot of money.
That's it.
These guys, I want to bring this up. Gianluca, you're on a roll tonight. You should have. Gianluca should have been a guest today. In. No, I like this one too. With Unas back and Insigne health, I feel like Lozano isn't a bad option at striker when Ozilum needs rest. Why is Gianluca the only person?
Let me tell you. I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me tell you something.
I agree with this, by the way. But go ahead, Rafa.
For the
100%, 110%.
Mexico national team games.
Just a no-brainer.
I went to my buddy Gil's house, who one of my partners at the shop, my barber brother, and his brother Diego, and me and my cousins Luca and Dan. Luca's here from Florida visiting. We went to go to the house to watch Mexico Costa Rica last night, and it's exactly what we were talking about. Chucky should be playing more centralized at Napoli because it's just. Like he said, Unos is back. Politano could play. Insigne is not hurt. Put Chucky in the middle sometimes.
Why he should have been there in the first place. Rafa, this is one of our most expensive transfers in our history.
He can play in the middle.
Right before I was in him. And he's coming off the bench. Like, dude. See, this is the thing. Like Spalletti, like he made some people good. He made some people so. And Lozano is one of those guys. Now, you could talk all day about his first touch and this and that. Fine. But I'm telling you, we needed him. Like, I would rather him in the center than Petagna. I'm sorry. Like, Petagna, maybe 15 minutes at the end of the game or whatever. Or if we need to cross the ball in, probably a good person to have. But come on. Like, Lozano has the same type of pace that Osimhen get. I'm not saying he's a similar player, but he can kind of do what Osimhen does sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been a good option in the middle. I think this would have helped a lot. Look, if you look at the last game when he scored 2 goals, he was always drifting closer to the middle of that game. That was the one game he's coming closer to the middle. Look, 2 goals in, man. I'm telling you, bro. Like sometimes I don't want to be like, I'm not trying to be a coach. I'm not an expert here, but it was just kind of like my call with Elmas at left wing and some other things. We got these coaches need to be a little bit more creative, man. Like, I don't understand. Like, you're sitting there, you're studying the team. Why can't, you could put fucking Spalletti could put Elmas as a right back to cover that position. You can't put Lozano in the center, at least just for now, until just to cover Osimhen, or even to back him up at times. You can't do that.
Here. Chucky should have 2 goals last night. One of the things I did notice, though, is that similarly to Chucky, a lot of the Mexican national team players, their touch is not that good. Like, their first touch is lacking.
Gotta work on that, Mexico.
Dude, their decision-making, their passing, their shot-taking, it's just off. I think it's the Mexican national team coach. But at the same time, Chucky is the star of that team when you look at it. Napoli has really made Chucky. I mean, I don't want to say Napoli made him because he was the star beforehand. He scored the goal against Germany to knock them out or to beat them in the group stage or whatever, what have you. But the World Cup in 2018. But I mean, Chucky is an advanced member of the team with probably a handful of other players there. But it's something that I really looked at yesterday when watching Mexico and was like, man, these guys' first touch is not very good. So that's something he has to work on. But at the same time, you put him in the center, he can score goals. You saw him score 2 goals against Bologna. It can happen. It's not like he can't score. I think Chucky is a viable option at striker. So along with Petagna, Mertens, Osimhen, there's nothing we really, to go back to your original point of who we need to add in January, or who we should have added or needed to add what kind of position. For me, it's nothing. Napoli is a complete team. First 8 games of the season, Napoli were unbelievably, perfect. They were perfect in the first 8 games. Right. And that was because everybody was healthy. Now that everybody's coming back to full health again, it's going to be good. I did see, I think it was, I want to say Stefano, who said that Unas is gone. I looked it up really quick when he did say that. He's not gone.
He's saying he's going to be sold at the end of the season.
Well, no. I think I heard a contract extension for him, Elmas, and Lobotka. That's what I heard.
Right.
Problem with Unas is he's not healthy. He was taken off of Algeria because of post-COVID heart condition, so he's not healthy.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
the
He's not
myocarditis.
healthy right now.
Yeah.
Same thing that
That's
I
really
think it's a
serious in
similar
Italy, by
thing
the
to
way.
Alfonso
Very-
Davies in Canada. I think is what happened with Unas at Algeria. He scored that goal in the first game, and it was just like, oh yeah, man, he just ended up with this heart condition. So that could be an issue there too. But with all due respect to Unas, he wasn't a member of the first team. He was getting some minutes, but it's not like he was like, I don't want to say he wasn't. Everybody's integral in the team, but he wasn't the integral. He wasn't like the missing link to this
Right.
club. Without Unas, we would have won those games too. So I think we're okay, guys. I really do. I know I'm an optimistic guy, and I'm always looking at glass half full. But let's be honest. It might not happen for the Scudetto for us this season. Inter are a very strong team, but I think it's going to be closer than everybody thinks it is. That's just the way it is.
Gianluca, by the way, you mentioned that Serie B thing, guys. If anybody has any interest in hearing about hypotheticals as far as body coming up and again, go listen to this podcast. We talk about this, we break it up, and please, everybody, hit like and subscribe. Thank you. That really helps, man. We appreciate all the people who do and all the people who stay with us live. It does help. It does help, man. We're trying to grow here. We have got such a dope, like Napoli content creators. We have a dope squad up in here, man. Honestly, I don't want to sound bad. I mean, there's some great guys out there that do their thing. I mean, people who cover the whole league. There's some wonderful people out there. But as far as like individual teams, man, hit like and subscribe because it will help us, bro. Let's
Dom, come on. Like, we got an
big three right there, guys, man. These great. I don't want to boast my own horn here.
And you get something different with every every dynamic, you know what I'm saying? Every dynamic produces something different. It's wonderful.
Don't be a pessimist, Peter. Well,
I mean, come on, Pete.
You can't think like this, bro.
Pessimistic Pete.
Pessimistic Pete. You can't think like this. I'm gonna put some closing music on. I gotta cut out soon, Rafa. So
same here, man. I gotta actually.
What's a Napoli going on the chat? You gotta eat
a really late dinner.
Oh no, you gotta eat early.
Forza Napoli in the chat, guys. Let's go. Let's see it.
Forza Napoli in the chat, man. It was a lot of fun to be back here. A lot of fun to be back here.
It was a lot of fun to be back, man. We're working on some cool guests coming in soon. Won't drop any names, so stay tuned to see what we have lined up. But I mean, listen, Napoli play Venezia on the weekend, and then it's a big one. Inter, that's a big one.
February is a doozy. Oh boy, guys, look it up. I mean, we have Venezia, then Inter. Then Barcelona.
Yep.
Yeah, we got Barcelona. Who else is? And then there's Lazio and Milan at some point after that. February is a big month.
I'll tell you right now. So Sunday, February 6th, 9 a.m., Venezia Napoli on the East. These are all East Coast times, mind you. Then Saturday, February 12th, 12 o'clock p.m., Napoli Inter. Thursday, February 17th, 12:45 p.m., Barcelona Napoli Europa League. Monday the 21st, 1 p.m. Cagliari Napoli. Thursday the 24th, Napoli Barcelona 3 p.m. Sunday February 27th, Lazio Napoli 1:30 p.m. Sunday March 6th, Napoli Milan 1:30 p.m. Oof.
It's gonna be a rough February, man.
And then I'll tell you what, if Napoli do qualify to the next round of the Europa League, it would be Verona on Sunday the 13th in Verona. Then midweek would be Europa League. Then Udinese on March 20th against at the Maradona. Then Europa League again. Then Atalanta. Then Fiorentina. Then Roma. Then Empoli. Then Sassuolo. It's tough teams. Torino, Genoa, Spezia. That's the way it goes. But getting these bigger clubs out of the way now early, some of those teams are tough.
Yeah. The last stretch is not going to be that bad, Rafa. The last stretch,
it shouldn't be that bad.
The closing stretch, man. And I think Napoli are just going to come back up in the spring, but it's going to get warm, and the boys are going to come back, and it's going to be fun, and we'll see what happens. And I'm really excited, but I am still optimistic. And we'll see what happens, man.
I'm excited.
Let's try to stay optimistic. I think so. Because all in all, listen, we're still in second place. We still got a great team. We're still competing. We're still going up against teams that need to spend $900 million to do shit. We'll do it at a fraction of the cost. So, let's hopefully win a trophy. We'll talk more, guys, real soon. We'll get back at you. Thank you, guys.
And then we get to the Champions League, and we're talking about a different season next year because we've got an injection of money. So there you go.
Thank you, Pascal. Thanks for the show, guys. It was a great time, and it's always a great time to you guys. Thank you to everybody in the chat. We certainly appreciate you sticking out with you guys, man. Thank you to everybody listening on the audio podcast. Raff, another great show as always, man. Be sure to support everybody. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and Forza Napoli, man.
Sempre Forza Napoli. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, guys. Be good.